Hey guys, today I am going to be doing a tour of the garden, but not our vegetable garden. Zach just did that recently. If you guys want to see our vegetable garden tour, I'm going to have that linked here. Today what I'm going to be doing is a tour of all of our flowers and plants. So he's going to stick to the vegetable stuff right now, which honestly, we already need another update because so much has happened since the last video. So much growth, so much death because of what we assume is bunnies, we don't know. But I thought I would show you guys around the garden, around the greenhouse, and walk you through the entire property and show you what we have going on because it's absolutely beautiful right now. As I keep doing these garden updates, they're gonna look so good because we've got some things that are just about to bloom or are just starting, and when they do, when you first drive into the property, right here is a garden bed that Zach made. I'm going to bring you guys up close here in a second, but he built this all out of rocks and it is so sweet. And in here we have so many different things. Right here in the very left section, as you can see, like this is the garden that Zach showed you guys all around last week. Right here, huge amount of strawberries. So these have just taken off. These leaves are huge. Look at the size of some of these leaves. They're absolutely massive. So we have strawberries, and then this plant that you see here, this is White Wonder Feverfew. So I've got some of that growing back there as well. That one's really cool. That's a medicinal flower. I'll put some information about it up on the screen, so if you guys are interested. Little strawberries growing, which is so sweet. And we have these naturalizing all over the entire property. If you guys saw the video that Zach just made, you can see that there are strawberries growing everywhere in the garden. And this area is no exception. Strawberries everywhere. This front area right here that you can see, that's all daffodils that are dying back. I gotta let the greens die back. Once they're done, we're gonna dig these up and move them elsewhere. They're too tall for like the front of the bed. I mean, it's pretty, but they last so long that it would be nice to plant other things there. But they are so beautiful when they are in bloom. As you guys can see here, we have garlic. Garlic growing all along this outside bed. And it's just doing so well. We planted this in the fall and it just looks awesome. It's doing really great. I couldn't be happier with its progress. It looks so great. So this little area is kind of haphazard, but I'll show you some areas where we are getting actual flowers. This is the greenhouse here. You guys have seen this many times. I never made my full greenhouse video that I was going to make talking about, you know, who we use, showing the before and after. I can still do that if you guys are interested. I have all of the footage from the excavation, from the building, and the process of putting it in. So if you guys are interested in knowing more about the greenhouse, I would absolutely love to do that. It is so wonderful. We love it so much. And I never gave it the real video that it deserved, but I also had like a 6-month-old baby, so I need to cut myself some slack. All of this that you see here, this really lush green, it's all Shasta daisy. And when this is bloomed, it is absolutely stunning. It is so beautiful and so prolific. It just blooms and blooms and blooms. I have some periwinkle growing down here. You can see it's kind of popping up all over the place. And it has these sweet little purple blooms. They're not really blooming right now. Maybe I see one, but see that sweet little purple. As you can see right up next to the greenhouse, we have allium, and the bees absolutely love the allium. They are all over it. And allium is an ornamental onion variety. They're these big Whoville puffball looking guys. And every time I show them, people want to know more about them. They grow great. They're a bulb that you plant in the fall, and then they just come up in the spring, and they're absolutely beautiful. I would say of all of the plants that we grow, the bees like these the most. So right here in front of our electrical box we've got peonies. So I don't know if you can see it kind of buried in the mix. We've got peony here, peony there, peony there. And then all within all of this, surrounding the peonies, I completely cleared all of this out, put fresh compost down, and threw a million wildflower seeds. So there is coneflower, so those are called Clarkia, and then there's bachelor's button I can see in here as well. So this is just gonna be a big, huge field of wildflowers. So until about here, all of this is wildflowers that we planted. But as you can see, these really tall guys, we've got some blackberries growing in here. We have, which these are so frustrating. They're called bitter dock. They're so hard to pull up. I do feed them to the chickens. They don't care for them that much. I try to pull them up like every day and they just grow prolifically. All of this that you see though, this is all wildflower. I can see that these are wild daisies. And then I've got a ton growing over there right now. I'll try to get you guys to be able to see them, but all of this whole patch is going to be the most beautiful wildflowers. I've never done them before. I didn't have great success with germination before, but fortunately, right when I put the wildflowers on the ground, it rained for like 2 weeks. So they had insane germination, which is awesome. Wildflowers get about 2 feet tall, so it's going to be absolutely massive. And this just looks like a big patch of weeds. I mean, technically at the end of the day it is, but I can't wait to see what it looks like when it is all flowering. It's going to be so pretty. I cannot wait. This area that you see in our driveway, this is kind of where we pile stuff. Okay, we have a sand pile there, a compost pile here. I think we got this delivered last year. We got about 7, what is it? Not tons. What's it called? 7 units. What is it called? 7 yards. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you to my own brain. We got about 7 yards of compost delivered, so that's what we have going on here. That's why this area looks so haphazard. That we got for free. It was a chicken coop that somebody had that they were giving away for free. And then we got it. We were like, oh, we're gonna put our chickens in it. And then, as you guys have seen, we built a chicken coop. That wouldn't quite have worked. We have 17 chickens. That would fit like 2 chickens. So I'm gonna turn you guys here to the side of the greenhouse and show you we've got peonies, roses, and my twisty baby tree. So this tree is one that I got last year. And it went through pretty big transplant shock when we put it in, but I think it is my favorite tree I've ever seen. This is called a locust and it is called Twisty Baby. Please, please look at the foliage, please. It's twisty and darling and curly. Oh look, can you see the little spider? It's a little zebra jumping. Oh, they're my favorite. So this is the side of the greenhouse. It is so haphazard over here because of all these wildflowers growing. It normally doesn't look quite this crazy, but it just is what it is. I'm not trying to judge it, I'm just letting it be. As you can see, we've got a really beautiful purple rose over there. So it's gonna look like that. It's like a peony looking rose, and you can see it's already starting to have some blooms up at the top. And then speaking of peonies, these are our peonies growing next to it, and I have never seen these flower before. So this is the first year that we're getting any sort of buds on these. This is only their second year being in the ground. And there's peonies all over here. And then in the back here, we've got our rhubarb. And then I'll show you this other rose that we got for the front of the greenhouse that's looking absolutely amazing. It's just looking so cool because it's a climbing variety and those just are taking off. They look so cool. Oh, look at this area. This is a pump house that we had built for it's where the water connections meet for a well and the water association that we are on, and is going to look like the bottom of the greenhouse. So you see the stonework here on the bottom of the greenhouse, how it's like this really sweet cottagey stone. This cute building will have all of this stone on it when I can get to it. It's such a big project that Zach and I haven't been able to get to it, but the second that we're able to, we absolutely will, because I think it will just be so charming. And then right here, look what we've got. Look, chamomile. You guys, this is German chamomile that self-seeded over here into this back area. This is just growing everywhere. And the more you pick chamomile, the more it grows. So I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna absolutely just grab all of this. If you have never had homemade brewed chamomile tea, it is like nothing else. It is so lovely, so beautiful. It's just like so comforting and sweet and wonderful. Heaven help me. Highly suggest growing chamomile. It's so prolific. It's absolutely lovely. And oh, how sweet is it? So now we're on the other side of the greenhouse. You can see we have another rhubarb plant here. This is actually all fireweed that's growing in among the peonies. Oh, the peony opened! This morning it was a closed tight little ball. You guys, this just happened. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Look at that. Get out of there, little ant. This is my first peony. I've never grown one. Let me smell. Oh my gosh, it smells so lovely. Oh, look at that. This morning it was a closed tight little ball. Look at it now. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so beautiful. I need to stake it up though because it wants to fall. All these flowers you see growing around it, these big tall guys, these are a native plant called fireweed. I like them. I think they're cool. I think they're pretty. They look intentional and I like how tall they grow. So I'm just going to leave them. As you can see, this is a butterfly bush that's just growing in here. This is another peony that's coming through. More allium. This is a rose that is so beautiful, but this rose looks terrible. It was looking really good in the beginning of the season and right now it only has one bud on it. This is Coco Loco and oh my gosh, this is one of the prettiest roses I've ever seen in my entire life. Heaven help me. Guys, it is so beautiful. It's like a milk chocolate lavender color. This is the rose I was talking about. So it's a climbing rose. Once it's really established, it'll climb up the greenhouse. That's what it's going to look like when it's all grown in. And I just cannot wait. You can see how many little rose buds it has growing on it though. So it's going to be pretty full when it grows in and it'll grow up all the way here. This is a really long video and I feel like I haven't even shown you guys any actual flowers yet. We have so much growing right now and I want to keep you guys updated through the season so you can see how things grow. As you can see, the allium did not grow in this year. The chickens stomped it down and that is why we don't let the ladies out anymore. You ruined your privileges. This is a really pretty perennial geranium that when it will establish is so beautiful. And then I have a lot of sweet woodruff growing in because I just think it's such a sweet little foliage. It's so sweet. And then we have this total huge allium, like this is 5 feet tall. So underneath this little eave of the chicken coop that we built, we have some hostas because they like shade. And then this was planted by a kid and so I left it, even though this likes sun and it's in the shade. That is a really pretty petunia. It'll keep growing lots. So these are rudbeckia that are growing in. Other people know them as black-eyed Susan. We also have some peppers and things like that growing in here and some ornamental flowering oregano. And this we just put in this year. This right here is a beautiful climbing rose. Look at these. This just opened today and it's gonna have so many pink climbing flowers on this and it really looks happy here. I mean, it was tiny when we put it in. It's probably grown like 2 feet already. And right next to it, I planted a ton of these this year because I just think they are so sweet and I think they are so underrated. Violas, I just think they are beautiful. They are prolific, profuse flowering, and they're just beautiful. I think they are so pretty outside of the chicken coop, and I think I definitely want to get seeds next year so that I can start a ton so I'm not buying a ton, and they're not expensive, but. And we have this little free crepe myrtle tree that we got that is on its last leg. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't look great, but it's still alive. These yellow flowers are called bidens, and I just think they are so pretty. I love the blooms on them. They are so pretty. And then right next to them, we have a fig tree and some more violas. These are some petunias, more sweet woodruff, more petunias. This right here is, hi ladies. This is a lilac tree that we actually took cutting from our current tree that we have. These are more calendula. Henny, she is so loud. She's our loudest lady. Gotta love you, hun. And some more geranium. And then around here, this is actually so sad. This is the Nuccio's Gem camellia. And our other camellia looks so good that we thought this one would do well. And not only is it not doing well, it's completely dying. It looks terrible. I've sprayed it with copper fungicide. It doesn't seem to be recovering. I don't know why it has this issue. We planted some random peppers all over the place just to kind of see if they grow better in certain areas. I have another hosta, which honestly doesn't look great. This is a beautiful yellow rose. It's a hybrid tea rose. So pretty. And then if we flip around over here to the quail coop, so actually right in between the chicken and quail, we have these two trees. These are mulberry trees. We need to put that one in the ground as well. And then all of this is like roughage for chickens that Zach just planted here in the ground. So we can grab these greens and throw them in daily for the ladies. But these are gonna be really cute little mulberry trees. And then these are a perennial salvia, and look how good they look. The bees love these too. I would say these are second to the allium, maybe even more. Look how many bees are on these right now. And then back here we have more rhubarb, more chamomile. This is all self-seeded chamomile. We did not plant this. It just self-seeded and is growing like mad. This right here is, we have pineapple mint and oregano. And then this is more chamomile over here. But this teeny tiny sweet little baby is dill. Little dill baby. So back here behind the quail coop, we have more rhubarb. And then we have another lilac cutting and poppies. And this is our first time growing poppies as well that have actually done really good. Look how many buds it's gonna have. It's just so cool. I love poppies. They're so pretty and they look to be absolutely thriving right here. So pretty. And then on the other side of here, we have chocolate mint and walking onion. All of these barrels that you see along our driveway are all bulbs, and they are the first to bloom. We're gonna take all these bulbs, take them out though, because as of right now, we wanna put them somewhere else and do something else in these barrels. So this is one of our cherry trees, and we have two. We actually have four, the other two are in the orchard, but it does have cherries growing in. You can see them. All the cherries. This is our other cherry tree that we've got up in the front of the house. This one looks a little diseased. It should have cherries on it as well. We'll see. I see some growing in, but not very many. And this is my first year growing these. Certainly not my last. These are impatiens, and I absolutely think they are the most darling. They love shady, dappled areas, and they're just so prolific and so pretty. Right here next to it, we've got lavender, which is kind of a weird spindly lavender, but it always did this from the very beginning. This is our espaliered apple tree. So it's a grafted apple. So we have Gala, Honeycrisp, and Fuji all on the same tree. And as you can see, we've got lots of apples. And when I stand back, that's what it looks like. And all of the plants you see growing in the bottom of it, those are sunflowers that the squirrels planted for us. We never planted a single sunflower, and the squirrels did. This is like a little potted garden. We were gonna do an herb garden up here, but it doesn't get enough sun. Passing these, we've got strawberries galore, peppers, more strawberries, and sunflowers. This is an espaliered plum tree. We've got our azalea hanging basket. Isn't that so pretty? I feel like I don't see any azaleas blooming still, but this one is just going. We also have these hanging baskets. These are fuchsias, and the hummingbirds absolutely love these. They are so beautiful. Fuchsias are so pretty, aren't they? They look like something futuristic. Like, look at this flower. And this is the area I love the most. This is our backyard. When you stand here, we had these stairs built actually last year, mid-year. There was never stairs here. You couldn't get to the backyard from these stairs. So had these put in, and they're so wonderful. We had a barbecue yesterday, so these are cornhole bags you're seeing here. And I bought these tree roses for the end of here because I just think they are so beautiful. I'm gonna bring you up close to them. They are called Peach Drift tree roses, and aren't they stunning? Look at these. I love the way they look when they're just brand new, and they are so prolific and beautiful, aren't they? Stunning. So this is the back porch area. I got a peach drift rose on each side. Tree roses have been made to look like this, so they're tall, lollipop-ish, and they smell divine, literally divine. They're so beautiful. I love them so much. So when you walk down, I'm pretty sure I've showed you guys this, but this we had built last year. We call it the gazebo. It's more of a pavilion. It ended up being huge, and I love it so much. It is so wonderful, beautiful, absolutely 10 of 10. Love it so much. So right here on the pavilion, we've got another rose. We're really into roses this year, if you couldn't tell. This is called Above All Rose, and it is a climber, and it is so vibrant. It kind of fades out to this like lighter orange color, but it is absolutely fire orange. And right beneath it here, we have strawberries growing everywhere. And this is woolly thyme, and we want the thyme to grow between all the stones, and it's doing a really good job. It loves it back here. We've got more sunflowers growing that the squirrels planted. All of these strawberries growing beneath. And these are all peppers. Like I said, we're trying to see where they grow best. This right here is darling, isn't it? This is called a columnar apple. So it is the golden sentinel variety, and it only grows about 4 foot wide. So it's a full grown, like it's an apple tree. It produces apples. This has apples growing on it. Look, little apple. And for more flowers down here, we have more violas, and these are so sweet, aren't they? They look like a little face. I absolutely love the color of them. And I've got lots of petunias growing back here, tons of strawberries growing within these garden beds. So Zach actually built these garden beds after we went to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show. There was a display garden there that it was like this cutest little hobbit hut, and they had these garden beds all around it, and it inspired us so much to make one really similar. So Zach built these this year, and they are beautiful. I literally am obsessed with them. I love them so much, and I'm going to show you everything that's in them, but I want you to look at the actual garden bed and how it's built out of like wood rounds and stones. It's such a cute idea. So also moss growing in and through the stones. Same for strawberries. He planted all within, and they're all flowering and doing great. So if you want to like add a lot to a rock border, strawberries, grow so well. So I deadheaded all of these right here, but these were a pericallus and they were absolutely so beautiful, but I think they're done blooming now. I'm not 100% sure. And then we have another climbing rose here. This is a David Austin climber, and I'm not sure the variety on this one. I will pop it up on the screen if I can ask Zach, and he might know. He's pretty good at remembering what he bought.
And they kind of look like crap, like, to be honest. Like, I'm hoping these survive, but these are called the Generous Gardener.
But he bought these from just like a tiny little start, and they look amazing. And then this one right here is called the Fairy. Now, this is another rose. Again, I went a little rose crazy this year, but I don't even care. I'm obsessed. Look what this will look like. It's just gonna be a spray of roses. I cannot, it's so beautiful. Right here we have African daisies and a ton more viola. I just think viola are so pretty and they add so much color and they never stop blooming. They're so pretty. Right here are actually two nectarine trees, dwarf Nectazy nectarine. And we had these growing in the garden and they all got leaf curl. There was literally like 6 living leaves on this plant. So Zach dug them up and brought them up here and put them in pots so we could keep them under cover. And then we continued spraying the crap out of these with copper fungicide. And look, we cured it. It does not have leaf curl anymore. Leaf curl has killed all of our peach trees, all of our nectarine trees, but not this one. Look at these little babies. Do you see? It is absolutely loaded with nectarines. And I will say it is one of the most delicious fruits that we have on our property. This one produces store quality nectarines. Like, they're literally 10 of 10, absolutely delicious, amazing, wonderful, so good, cry worthy nectarines, which are my favorite fruit. Hands down, top #1 favorite fruit. And they are covered in nectarines and the leaf curl is gone. And I just feel so proud that we were able to save these guys. And so, yeah, we've got these next to these little garden beds. We've got raspberries, and look. There's actual little raspberries growing and the bees are just working so hard over here. So these are our raspberry plants. This is a tug-of-war rope the kids were playing yesterday. Yeah, the raspberries look amazing. More strawberries right here. And we're moving on to this next bed, which you can see we've got creeping thyme, and the creeping thyme looks very happy. More strawberries, more violas. So the purple is rock cress. It will grow and spill over these beds eventually. It's a perennial flowering plant and it's so beautiful. I love it so much. Its other name is Albrecia. And look at this. Look at this sweet little baby. Can you tell me these aren't the sweetest little flowers you've ever seen in your life? These are Irish moss. And we have this growing between our pavers in the front of our house. It loves sun. If you have Irish moss growing and it's not doing well, that's because it's not in sun, because here it is absolutely thriving. And when I step back and look at the garden bed, look, with the cutest little strawberries coming up and the moss growing in, it's just 10 of 10. Isn't it so sweet? So then we have balloons again. Like I said, we had a huge event here yesterday, but this is another climbing rose that we have here and it's about to open. There's buds all over. It's going to be so beautiful. Unfortunately, the candy tuft is looking a little worse for the wear, but it was looking really pretty. But that's also a perennial flowering plant, so it'll grow in. We've got sweet little creeping thyme, more Irish moss, more violas, and then this little tree that we have here, which is a weeping Louisa crab apple. And it's definitely filling in. Look how sweet it is. I just absolutely love it. It's so cute. I cannot handle it. These are some apple trees that we need to plant that are from our property. But look how great the creeping thyme is just filling in all these places, how it's spilling over the rocks. This is just planted maybe like 3 months ago, so it's doing great. Petunias over here. Sorry if this video is so shaky. We've got another rose here. This one is called Sunny Knockout Rose, and it is so pretty, these yellow flowers. Obviously you can see in here, we've got more Albrecia, more violas, which are filling in so pretty. Look how cute they are. Aren't they just little sweethearts? Some people are indifferent towards them, but I just think they're absolutely darling. Then we have wisteria back there, which is a cutting from our wisteria tree, which is right here, which we just recently cut back all the blackberries from choking it out. We've got some wisteria that's gonna end up growing up this, because we want everything to grow up this gazebo because it's just so pretty. And then right here is, I think, one of my favorite roses that we have. This is Lemon Drift, and stop it right now with its teeny tiny little buds. Can you even handle it? I cannot. I want to get like 50 of them. They are the prettiest rose lemon drift, I cannot. And over here, there's another garden bed that Zach built, more strawberries everywhere. Heaven help me, I cannot remember what these are called, but we have a Japanese maple that is looking a little worse for the wear. Honestly, not looking great. And another wisteria here. We have a pond that we are in the middle of putting in. This is just one of those little like plastic diggy-any ponds. And we wanted to start with this guy, get some pond plants and build a little frog hotel. We'll bring you guys along for that. And we have this dogwood tree over here. Super cute. It's Korean dogwood and I love it when that flowers. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's the prettiest tree. We've got a couple more apple trees over here. We've got Sunrise Magic, Fuji, Cosmic Crisp. Cosmic Crisp is the best apple I've ever had in my life. I ate one at the store the other day and I could not believe the flavor. It's like an apple on frickin' steroids. It is so good. The flavor, it's like every apple cider pressed into one apple. Like, it's so good. I can't even, I'm not hyping it. It's that good. So we have these apple trees we bought as bare root this year, put them in some pots because we weren't sure where to put them. That is the yard. We have more plants and more things growing everywhere, but I just wanted to show you guys where things are at right now. I know I can be very long-winded. I know that I kind of talk a lot, but I'm just very excited about all of this. I am so proud of our property. I'm so proud of our yard and so proud of all the amount of work that we've put in that is totally paying off. It's so beautiful and being able to share it with so many people. We've been hosting a homeschool co-op here for like the last 2.5 months and that's been wonderful, having so many kids be able to run around and play and help us plant flowers and to have all the parents here. Yesterday we hosted a barbecue with 60 people and that is the joy of my life, sharing my things and our property with other people. Like, that's where I get so much of my happiness and fulfillment from, is like being able to share everything with other people. And so that's what I like doing here with YouTube and with showing you guys the garden. I apologize that it was very shaky. Hopefully I've been able to steady a little bit of it in post-production, but sometimes Steadicam footage, like when you steady it in post, it looks like kind of wavy and wonky. I need to get some kind of little Steadicam situation or have like Zach film me as I walk around so that I'm in frame. But I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and I hope you care as much as I do, because I just do. I love it so much. This is what we do all day long. Like, I am actually so proud of everything that we've been able to do. Like, this whole area I'm sitting in right now, this didn't exist a year ago. It did not exist. And now it's here and it is so beautiful and it is so like been so helpful and wonderful. Like I said, we hosted the school. They had their school out here for the last 2 months undercover here, rain or shine. And it was so lovely to be able to offer something like this to something like that. We just love it so much and I hope you guys like it too. I thank you guys so much for watching and we will see you at our next video.